Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you as always for your tweets. Stevie with us here in the studio. Don and Gab. Don and Gab, I have to tell you, Stevie's a little bit on edge. He's got the dentist tomorrow. Nervous.
Ooh.
Doesn't like it.
Wow.
Oh no, I'm getting a crown as well.
Same.
Oh no,
Same.
that'd be cheap.
Petrified.
Do you know what? I'm scared of the drill mill and the money right now.
Really, Steve? Are you that bad with it?
I hate it. Well, Dan, when I grew up, going to the dentist was like, you'd rather go to jail.
Flipping heck.
I mean, talk about getting butchered.
What do they do to you?
You should get gas and all that nonsense.
Well, surely that helps, doesn't it? Doesn't that calm everything down a bit?
Oh, yes. You know when you wake up?
Right.
Well, number one, you're lucky you wake up. And two, you don't know what day of the week it is. You're all over the shop.
Look at Gab's face.
Stevie, I would have thought, this is what I don't understand about dentists, and it's a common thing, right? Few people are like, yes, I'm going to the dentist. I don't understand why. Dentists are there to take care of your teeth and make your teeth better if you've got a problem, right?
No.
And yet, nobody seems to like dentists, whereas everybody seems to love doctors. I don't quite get the dichotomy there.
Who loves doctors?
But you wouldn't be as apprehensive if you were going to see the
dentists?
doctor.
Well, I wouldn't be scared because the doctor's not got some electrical equipment and he wants to touch my body with, like.
Dentist have you been to?
What dentist are you going to? Which dentist is he going to?
Oh no! I'm going to the doctor. That stethoscope. It's so cold.
The what? The what?
Stethoscope. It's so cold. I can't stand it.
Right.
Yeah, right. Oh, some big drill stuck right down your gob. Yeah, thanks.
Are you working tomorrow?
No.
Oh, well, good you have some
Well, I
rest.
can't. I'll need time to recover.
Don, how many international goals would Messi have by now had he played in these Farmers World Cup qualifying games?
Oh, I hate these sort of questions. I mean, who did they play? Who did they play tonight when he scored 5?
Estonia.
I hate these questions. Exactly. There you go.
Well, so
Say no more.
He would have scored a lot more, though, yeah, if he was in World Cup qualifying, Don, in Europe.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, people say, you know, oh, he's playing against Colombia and Brazil and it's difficult, which it is, but I don't think you can measure anyone's numbers by, you know.
I think you can, Don. I think you really can on this occasion, can't you? If you're at CONMEBOL World Cup qualifying, you're up against, you know, some of the best in the world every round, as opposed to in Europe. Look at it.
Group B: Argentina,
know,
Gibraltar,
I
the
was
Faroe
reading-
Islands,
Scotland.
and Scotland. Guaranteed goals.
Listen, man, he's a genius. He scores 5.
Oh, that's it. That's it. End of it. Gab, on this occasion, the Messi lovers might actually be right, aren't they?
But I think this applies to every South American player. I mean, if you think about it, every 4-year cycle, they have to play 18 games against, I mean, it used to be Bolivia were bad, but then you go play Bolivia at altitude and you can't breathe. It used to be Venezuela were terrible, but they're not terrible anymore. You compare it to Europe, yeah, they have a point because every 2-year cycle, you're either qualifying for the Euros or you're qualifying for the World Cup. And, you know, odds are you will get one San Marino, Liechtenstein, Gibraltar type team in your group and you get to play them twice. And then you'll get another team that are a level up from that, you know, whether it's Estonia or whatever. So you could argue that, you know, over a 4-year cycle, you have a guaranteed, 8 games against teams that are substantially worse than what you would face in South America. On top of that, most times in South American qualifying, when they do and play friendlies, and obviously this was a friendly, they don't go and play Estonia. Traditionally, they go and try to play prestige friendlies if they can schedule them, so that they can make money off them. So they go and they play tough teams, and this applies to Brazil, Argentina, whatever. So I think it is generally fair to say that it is harder to rack up really big numbers in South America.
To Gab, is Mourinho going to PSG?
Well, apparently, somebody very close. This is kind of funny, right? So the story comes out on Saturday. It's reported in the Telegraph people, I guess, putting 2 + 2 together. Luis Campos on his way to taking over. He's Portuguese. Oh, look, so's Mourinho. On top of that, it was reported by somebody who's been very close to Mourinho in the past. That's on Saturday. Then on Sunday, in the Times, rival newspaper, Duncan Castles, who's historically very close to the Mourinho camp, says, no. Mourinho would turn down any offer from Paris Saint-Germain because he's so happy at Roma and he just won the conference and he's building something there. My instinct is that I think this was a 24-hour story. I think Mourinho genuinely wants to make it work at Roma. Doesn't mean he might not consider Paris Saint-Germain at some point, but I'm also not 100% sure that Paris Saint-Germain would necessarily come running for him. Not because he's necessarily a bad manager before the Mourinho-holics have a go at me, or the Mourinhiacs, or whatever you want to call them, but simply because when you have a team with Messi, Neymar, Mbappe now, you're going to want to consult these guys. Hey, do you want Mourinho? And they may not want Mourinho, especially given their histories.
Stevie, do you have a part-time gig that helps you pay for all these cakes and haircuts? Don, in case you missed yesterday's Extra Time, Stevie revealed what he paid for a cake for his granddaughter. Have a guess. Have a guess. What are you going for?
Is it a little cupcake or is it a sort of medium?
How big a cake are we talking, Stevie? Like a dinner plate size?
It's a good size cake.
Good size cake.
So a good sized cake Stevie would pay for his granddaughter. I'm saying $50.
Times that by 4.
What? And you paid it.
Hey, that's what I said.
And you paid it.
That's what I said when it had already been paid. What?
What?
And Stevie doesn't even like cake.
Had a bit of this one.
Hey,
And you paid it.
Yeah.
Did you take pictures at least?
Aye. Of course it did.
You know what you should do, Stevie?
Wow.
For that kind of investment, you should have taken pictures of the cake, turned it into an NFT, a non-fungible token, and then I'm sure it would appreciate in value over the years, and you'd have something to show for your $200.
There you are, Stevie.
Yeah, I thought you knew me better than that.
Stevie is very sceptical about NFTs.
He's got no idea what it is.
As if I'd ever be like, I can barely turn it on. Come on, jeez.
Why does the media buy into the hype around various national teams' golden generations? When was the last time, Gab, the term was used for a team that actually lived up to it after the fact?
I mean, it's still a golden generation, even if they don't win anything, right? I'm thinking most recently, obviously, Portugal's golden generation. They reached the final of the Euros in 2004. Belgium, obviously, is the other one that often gets talked about. But yeah, when you have a group of world-class players, or all roughly the same age, when they all come through around the same time, why wouldn't you call them a golden generation? I mean, is it marketing? Is it just the terms we use? I mean, the class of the class of '93 at all, or was it class of '93? Whatever. The Scholes, Beckham, Neville, that whole group, right?
92.
Nicky Butt. 92. There we go. We could have called them the golden generation, but we didn't. It would still be a golden generation, right? I don't see what the big deal is, right?
Was Stevie part of the golden generation of Scotland, Don?
Oh, absolutely. Who are you playing with, Stevie? Who's the legends?
No,
Alan
we'd
Hansen,
have
Kenny
probably seen
Dalglish,
Hansen, Dalglish.
Yeah.
But they're all older.
Souness.
Souness.
Molly
Yeah,
Miller,
Stevie,
Big Alex.
It still can be
Aren't they all
Boris
older than you?
Johnson,
You
It
Alan
can
can't
still
have
be a
those guys.
golden generation, though, can't it?
Say that again.
It can still be a
Well,
golden
now when
generation,
Dalglish
can't it?
is
You don't
10
have to
years
be young.
older than you,
I thought I said 1 at a time.
you have to be of the same generation, dog.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You just have to be in the same team, in the same squad. It's not like an age thing, is it?
What? What are you talking about? Of course it is. If it's a generation, you have to be roughly the same age. Otherwise, it makes no sense. Otherwise, you could be part of Liverpool's golden generation with Rush and Souness too, right? You were there, right?
Well, no, because I didn't play with Graham Souness. I played with Ian Rush, but I didn't play with Graham Souness or Kenny Dalglish. So
okay, so you're part of the Ian Rush generation, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're older.
But Stevie's mentioning legends there. Dalglish, Souness,
they're legends, but they're older than he is.
That's still golden. It's still golden. Just take generation off and put golden in there. That's it.
Oh, God.
Done. Are you and Stevie of the same generation?
Yeah, me and him are identical twins. He just doesn't know it yet.
There you go. With Scotland, Italy, and now Ukraine out of qualification, which teams will you all be rooting for in the World Cup and why? Oh, good start. Okay, Stevie, we know you'll be rooting for anyone that's playing against England.
Correct.
Where do you stand on the support of the US men's national team?
No, I'd like to see them doing well. Yeah, I'll probably go with my usual though.
Who's your usual?
Brazil. I always like Brazil.
Yeah.
The World Cup is just. If somebody mentions the name World Cup,
Right.
the first thing that comes to your head, other than Scotland, for me, is Brazil.
But there has been a member of the Brazil team, the captain of the Brazil team, that you haven't been very complimentary of over the years.
But what has that got to do with the whole squad?
Because I don't know where you would stand on seeing him be successful.
Well, I'm not that petty that I'd rather they went down the toilet just because of one guy whose character, I believe, sometimes is questionable.
Okay.
Sharon, that's the answer you're getting.
Don?
This goes slightly against the grain because I'll always champion Maradona as being the best player of all time. But I wouldn't mind Argentina winning the World Cup and Messi winning the World Cup.
Yeah.
I think for him that would be pretty amazing.
Gab?
So I'm not going to go and support a team that's already won a World Cup for obvious reasons. I will probably support whoever's playing against Germany. That will generally be my first port of call, again, for obvious reasons. Beyond that, I don't know. I want to keep an open mind. I often go and support places where I've lived, or if there's people who I know who are involved in teams. But you have until November to impress me. But I will be supporting whoever's playing against Germany.
Yeah, but I think. Well, again, I can only talk for myself, but I think what generally happens with me as well is, like the Euros with Italy. I wanted Italy to win the Euros,
right?
Obviously because England were involved.
Yes.
But generally, there's a team that appears that grabs you, and you enjoy watching them, and the games are good, and they score goals.
Yeah.
So when the tournament starts, there'll probably be another team that I'll probably root for.
I like that. You and Gab just waiting to be impressed.
Well, yeah.
Well, we discussed this on the show, Gab. You weren't in this segment. Should any club go near Gareth Bale for even 3 months, given he will not want to play for fear of getting injured before the World Cup?
I mean, he doesn't want to play because he doesn't want to get injured. So what? He just sits for 3 months and just plays for Wales. That's not the best way to prepare for the World Cup.
But Gav, as we said on the show, that's exactly what he's been doing at Real Madrid for the last couple of seasons.
Right, but now it's different. Now he's going to have to sign a contract. I think he probably would have liked to. Look, obviously at the end there wasn't any love there, but I'm sure he would have liked to have played more for Real Madrid just to keep his fitness for Wales. Obviously you'd want to have a long talk with him and figure out what do you want to do. If we give you a multi-year contract, are you going to want to keep playing? Are you going to be happy? What's the best way to protect you? Obviously the World Cup is going to be your priority. I can understand that. I can respect that. But there's a whole second half of the season after the World Cup. So I think clubs will talk to him, but they're going to want to sign him on their terms, and I think he understands that. And I've turned it around a bit on Gareth Bale. Look, the guy's made so much money from Real Madrid that right now, I mean, he could play for free if he wanted to. He could go, but what I mean by that is he can choose the club that best suits him, and money doesn't need to come into it at all. That's a pretty strong position to be in.
And also, we discussed this as well during the show, it could be the fact that he just doesn't have a club and just prepares himself on his own to go and play for Wales, Gab. I'm just thinking, historically, you know these things better than anyone. Has that ever happened where you've had a big star at an international side that hasn't got any allegiance to any club?
I mean, I think it's happened with Pat Jennings, if I'm not mistaken, but I think he might have just been close to retirement. Obviously, Zidane, when he played his last World Cup, his contract with Real Madrid had expired, but that's different because the season had just ended. I think there have been other guys who, I mean, certainly back in the day when, for example, with the U.S. national team, right? When they qualified for the World Cup in 1990, I think, and I believe in 94 as well. Most of those guys were on central contracts with the U.S. Soccer Federation. They didn't play for clubs. They simply went and trained and hung out with each other and trained by themselves. It's not a good position to be in, especially not a good position to be in when you're the only guy in that position and all your teammates are playing for their club side. So I genuinely don't think that's going to happen.
Final question, Don, percentage chance Wales get out of their group?
I'm going 50-50 between them and America.
Oh, okay. Gab?
So, does that mean you give England a 100% chance and Iran 0%?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay. I'm going to go 30% for Wales.
Ooh. I'm kind of round Gab. 33 and a third.
Oh.
Can't separate the other three.
What's worse, Stevie? England winning the World Cup or going to the dentist every day for a month?
Oh, my days.
Oh, that's close. I mean, ultimately, I'm going to say I don't want to go to the dentist.
Right. Wow, you really hate the dentist.
And then if it actually came to that, it would be. That would be a last-ditch decision.
Wow. That is it. We're done. Be a big brave boy tomorrow, Stevie. Maybe get a sticker. Sugar-free lollipop.
Yeah, great.
We'll be back tomorrow for more reaction to Wales booking a place in the World Cup.
I'll get a bill. I know that.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.